In 2005, the dream of having a radio station was conceived. With the approval of the then Vice-Chancellor of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Professor Ilochi Okafor, Professor Chinyere Stella Okunna, who was the head of the Department of Mass Communication, applied on behalf of the university. Behold, on the 8th day of February 2007, Professor Kate Omenora, as head of mass communication, then received the license to operate a campus radio station from the Nigerian Broadcasting Commission (NBC) on behalf of the university. Professor Omenora initiated the takeoff of the FM and later became its first director. The station started the test run in April 2008 in an improvised space in Mass Communication Department and was later commissioned in 2009. With contract for purchase of equipment already awarded by Professor Ilochi Okafor, procured by Professor Boniface Ebuka, who took over from Professor Ilochi Okafor as Vice-Chancellor, those to keep the station running became a problem. The station had only one staff member, late Sam Chinweze, who was jack of all trade. The need for a more robust workforce became imminent. Since campus radio thrives on volunteerism, students drawn from different departments came handy. The first set of student volunteers, Benjamin Ani, Ogoni Wewu, and Victor Iwatu, among others, took the first audacious steps with the guidance of Professor Kate Omenora as director, assisted by Professor Ifoma Duno. They began to learn on the job. Shortly after, a seasoned broadcaster, Ifeobi, joined as the station manager. The testimonies of these student volunteers tells the rest of the story. For Benjamin Ani, who was among the longest-serving student volunteers, working in UNIZIK FM was quite an experience.
Hello, my name is Benjamin Ani, aka DJ Benimwan Ororo Menuro 1 of UNIZIK FM Intellectual DJ, spiritual, live on Touch It right now on your radio then. I remember those days when we started back then. I was one of 6 guys who came actually to be engineers in the studio. I was number 6 on the list, but in a matter of 2 to 3 months, I became the head DJ and the head student engineer. So we carried the station for long. Remember the days of our little beginnings where we would stay back for holidays and do programs late into the night. I held the Space Jam show, one of the shows which rocked UNIZIK all kind of environments back then, like 2008, 2009. I was both DJing, presenting on radio, doing the engineering works, operating the studio from scratch, like from switching on the generator to powering the console and doing everything back then. Remember the days where we would sleep on the background in the studios because we wanted to wake up and as early as 5, 6 a.m. to power the studio. By the times we stayed back for holidays, we didn't go home. I wasn't reading the news. Yes, I wasn't doing the news because I tried to read the news. My manager would say, "Benjamin's car, leave that place." It was really fun, but it was down to passion. It was down to commitment. It was down to zeal. It wasn't easy, but we would say it was all grace. It was all grace. And I want to thank UNIZIK FM for the opportunity because it made me see myself doing things I couldn't imagine I would have done if I wasn't in the radio station. So I'm using the opportunity to wish UNIZIK FM a wonderful anniversary, and I hope this is just a starting point. The sky, they say, is the limit, but I believe the sky for UNIZIK FM will be the starting point.
For Victor Iwatu, who is now with Family Love 99.9 FM Enugu, UNIZIK FM was part of his success story.
Hello, I am Victor Chibez Iwatu. I currently work with Family Love 99.9 FM Enugu, the inspiration station. I'm really excited to be doing this, yes, because UNIZIK 94.1 FM is celebrating. I am grateful to God that UNIZIK FM has actually come this far. It's been many years of blazing the trail. It's a great one. I say kudos to all the managers, kudos to everyone at UNIZIK FM for all you've been doing all these years. I wish you the very best, even as you celebrate today. UNIZIK FM is part of my success story because if I am counting my blessings, I count UNIZIK FM as one of it because they actually gave me that route to where I am today. I'm a broadcast journalist practicing and doing well in the industry. So I want to say thank you, UNIZIK FM, for everything you did for me years ago. Yes, I remember it was in 2008. I auditioned to be a presenter with UNIZIK FM. That was in my final year. I recall creating an inspirational program then. What's the name again? Midweek meditation. Yes, on Wednesdays, midweek meditation. And thanks to Uncle Sam. Oh, God rest his soul. He was really helpful because at that time I wasn't really so confident in myself. I didn't know how to go about it. I was just I was having this low confidence and I just didn't know how to do it. But he called me aside one of the days and he encouraged me and helped me get that name, Midweek Meditation, with Victuate. Yes, Victuate was my name at that time, and it was an amazing story. I really am grateful to be alive to see that UNIZIK FM is waxing strong. Well, now for those of you who are there now, I wish you the best. Just keep at it, okay? Keep doing what you're doing. You never can tell where you will be tomorrow. UNIZIK FM is like a stepping stone. So it helped some of us, and I know it's going to help you. So keep pushing, keep blazing the trail, and in the end, you would smile. I wish UNIZIK FM the very best today and always.
2010 to 2013 witnessed an influx of talented student trainees who, under Professor Kate Omenora as director, led the station to win the Best Campus Station in Nigeria in the Nigerian Broadcasters Merit Award, among other recognitions. Also, Dr. Ikenna Nwokedi was also awarded for the best coverage of the Neros Pharmaceuticals Anambra FA Cup. The phenomenal winning streak at UNIZIK FM was largely motivated by a work aid program initiated by the then Vice-Chancellor, Professor Boniface Ebuka, which ensured payment of stipends to student volunteers. The likes of Chidi Eberendukwe, now with Trend 100.9 FM Asaba, Dr. Ngozi Emmanuel, a lecturer with the Mass Communication Department, UNIZIK, Chiagozie Ode, a climate expert for the United Nations, Sandra Eze and Stan Nze, who are making waves in Nollywood, Kelechi Nduka, a high-ranking army officer in the United States of America, and Emeka Nwokolo, also US-based, all proud products of UNIZIK FM.
Hi, my name is Chidiebere Ndukwe. Currently working with the leading radio station in Delta State. Specifically, we are here in Asaba, the capital city. My journey into UNIZIK FM started in 2011. I was in my sophomore. I've always loved the radio, the magic. Growing up as a child, I had always wondered how people who were working at the radio station, how they were doing it. So I didn't see the possibility of someone just talking and you not getting to see the person. So that curiosity was what led me when I got into UNIZIK as an undergraduate to study English. and then I would discover that there was a functioning community radio station uh, in the school, and I would make my inquiries, and we were told about how we can go about that, and what was open to us at the time was to come and volunteer. And I thought it was an opportunity I could use probably to, learn something that has been a mystery to me all my life. I mean, and then we would go into the station, did the audition, and I found myself also liking the news. So I did a lot of my time at the newsroom, where I was understudying and learning directly from the editor in chief at the time, Antioco, as we called her. And that was just it for me. I also had my time at the presentation department as a newsreader too. From time to time, we had other stuff we were doing, but basically, for me, it was memorable. It was impactful because I would move away from UNIZIK FM, and then I would go out there. The first place I was posted to as a core member, nobody ever believed I was just fresh from school. People thought, okay, I had a great deal of experience, but I was the only person who knew that everything I knew was from UNIZIK FM. So that was how big it was. And I would go ahead to land myself my first official job with the experience I gathered from UNIZIK FM. So UNIZIK FM is not just a molding ground, but it was a home to me because I made family there. The station manager, Mrs. Ifyobi, that lady is lovely. Ah, Mama, I still remember all those days where they cook rice. How she made it very fun for us at the time. The director of the FM, Professor Kate Omenoga, and then at some point we also had Professor Stella Okun also coming back. These were lovely ladies who were not just mentors, who were not just teachers, but also they played the motherly roles very well, and it gave a whole lot of us balance and made us feel we were, part of the system. And today, here we are today. I think it was a worthwhile experience, and I'm wishing UNIZIK FM more years of impact and more years of bliss as we move on. Thank you.
Hello, UNIZIK FM. It's my absolute pleasure to join you all virtually. Of course, I would have preferred to be there physically with you, but I'm happy to still have the opportunity to join you virtually on this auspicious day of your anniversary. It's been a long journey, long number of years, and ever grateful to UNIZIK FM for giving me the opportunity, my first volunteer opportunity to really follow one of my passions at this earlier stage. It was obviously when I was in my first year in UNIZIK, and I really wanted to fulfill this burning passion to be able to interrogate public officials who I thought at this time were not being held accountable to a satisfactory level. And this was the drive behind my ambition to join the FM at this time. And then we had the audition, which I was successful with, and then also being trusted with a radio show just shortly after passing my audition was for one important gesture that really gave a lot of confidence to me to also go ahead and deliver my best for the station. It was quite a long journey. It was a lot of years of experience, of learning on the job, of growth and development, of networking with people at the highest level, but also at the different levels in the society. I think also it's important to mention we've had great directors in the past who've been immensely supportive, from Professor Kate Omenoa, who supported us, especially when I joined new. She was the director then, and it was great to have her, supporting and nurturing us. Sometimes, of course, we make mistakes, but she's always there to tell us, you've done this, but then you do it like this next time. So allowing us to learn on the job. We also had Professor Duno as well, and then Professor Okuna, who has also taken the station infrastructurally to a next level. I still remember sometimes I had a running battle with Professor Duno, who will always run down to say, how did you pronounce this? They say you have to pronounce it like this. I think those were very important. for us to grow, but important that we're allowed to make those mistakes and also still continue to grow in our various capacities in the station. Well, these days I work as a climate expert for the UN, working on climate adaptation. So I'm a bit, being on this side, but also I find my communication skills are still very relevant in the work I do, and I still hope to return to the media work sometime in the future. Thank you so much, and I wish you a successful anniversary and an incredibly bright future ahead. I thank you.
Other products of UNIZIK FM who later found themselves back to their root, UNIZIK FM, include Engineer Michael Ugokwe, Echo, Nkemu Chendo, and Amaka Madu, as well as Engineer Dr. Ikenna Nwokedi and Franklin Onwubiko, who report for UNIZIK FM. To talk about UNIZIK FM without mentioning Associate Professor Nicholas Akas, Pilot 1 of Theatre Arts Department, and Daniel Mufo Fides, now with Ogene 98.3 FM, and Ifearon Okafo, a former Senior Special Assistant to the Governor of Anambra State on Broadcasting, and the Woguru Enoch Okama, were all worthy products of UNIZIK FM.
Enoch Okama bụ aha m. Oge anyị malitere ịrụ ọrụ na UNIZIK FM, anyị malitere n'ihi ego ma ọ bụ fem ka e wee mara anyị wee na-anụ afọ anyị. Mba, kama anyị malitere n'ihi ịnụ ọkụ n'obi anyị nwere n'ebe ọrụ mgbasa ozi dị. Ya bụ passion. We started the work out of passion we have for broadcasting. N'oge a, o nwegasị ọtụtụ ihe ịcha aka mgbaba ife anyị kwudoro n'oge a, tụmadị na mbido a. N'oge izizi ọkụ so n'ife na-enye anyị nsogbu. O nwere mgbe ụfọdụ tupu anyị ebido ọrụ n'ụtụtụ, ọ ya na-eruchi ihe dịka ebe 10 after 10 before ọrụ a na-amalite, n'ihi na enwero fuel ma ọ bụ diesel eji wee gbanye na generator eji alụ ọrụ. Nke a bụrụ ofu ife nọ wee na-eche anyị aka mgba n'oge a. Mgbe ụfọdụ anyị arụgide ọrụ, anyị ama arụrụ ọrụ ruo na chi ojiji. Nwere ụgwọ a na-akwụ anyị bụ ife anyị na-eji wee na-abịa, tụmadị mgbe a na-anọ vacation. Ihe eji ego gị wee ya agba moto wee bịarute na skuul. Ịbịarute isite from ebe isi. O nwere one jungle anyị na-esibe n'azụ Mascom wee na-aga n'oge a. Ihe nwere ike trek ihe lụrụ ebe 30 to 45 minutes before ịbịarute, maka na ịma fụrụ moto ma ọ bụ keke ya eburute gị na studio. So nya bụ ife abụrụ ife na wee na-eche anyị aka mgba n'oge a. Ọtụtụ anyị bụ ndị so na mbido a, anyị tara afụ hinne. Mana tata afụfụ ndị na-abụrụgo akụkọ mgbe ochie, ọ bụzi nkọrịka ka a na-akọzi ya n'ụbọchị nke tata. Ọ bụ onye izizi bụ onye mbụ na mbụ bụ onye meghepụ nya bụ ụzọ. Ka m malite nya bụ ọnọdụ ọ dịrị ofele chacha dịrị, maka na sọsọ mụa bụ gbazuo agụ, mụa ya agụ gbaa agba kwe ekwe, mụa bụ onye na-eme ife niile. Mana mgbe oge nọzi wee na-aga, emecha ụfọdụ ndị ọzọ bụkwa ndị nwere ike aka siri ike na ịgbasa ozi n'asụsụ Igbo bịakwa wee sonyere anyị. Emekata ebidozi agụba akụkọ ụwa, nwebezie program ndị ọzọ dịgasị iche iche. Mgbe ọbụla m bịakwa wee gbanya UNIZIK FM n'oge enwere Igbo Belt, ọ na-adị abụrụ m nnukwute ihe obi aṅụrị na ya bụ mkpụrụ nkụrụ n'ọtụtụ arọ gara aga, ihe ruru ebe 14 years ago, na ya bụ mkpụrụ ụka nọkwa, ya bụ osisi ka na wee na-amịtakwa mkpụrụ wee ruo n'ụbọchị nke taata. Ọ nnukwute ihe obi aṅụrị ka ọ dị wee nyere m. Aha m ekene ndị bụ ndị isi mahadum Nnamdi Azikiwe ine maka anya bụ ọnọdụ. Otu aka m ekenekwa hinne Mrs. Ifeobi for this privilege.
My name is Nicholas Akas, aka Pilot 1. I would like to share my little story on how we started with UNIZIK FM. It wasn't an easy journey. When I came to Oka, because I have passion for radio and TV, I read theater arts. I started looking for radio where I can do what I know how to do best. Then UNIZIK FM wasn't working. I joined Purity FM, where I got my name as Pilot 1, and I was seriously making waves,
Hello everyone, my name is Nkem Uchendo. You can call me Osoji on radio, trust me. So my journey with the FM station started in 2012. Interestingly, it's been worth the while. I started my journey with the help of Chidebere Ndukwe. He introduced me to the station and I got the audition form, declared interest, and I was auditioned. Luckily for me, I passed. I was paired with him to understudy him, and because he always opens the station most of the time early in the morning, so I usually come with him to open the station. And trust me, it wasn't funny because walking through that bush path into the school to open the station in the morning was really, really scary for me because of the whole lot of bush and, you know, with the idea of creeping animals coming out from the bush. But that was the fun of it, and he put me through a whole lot. I learned a whole lot from him, and luckily I passed again. I had to start reading news solo. But then it didn't end there because the program director and some other gurus in the station, then I felt they don't like me because they always complain about my news being incoherent, the lines, me not pronouncing the right words, the wrong modulations, and a whole lot of things. And I felt really bad. I felt discouraged. And the one that broke the camel's back was that I went on probation twice. I had to re-understudy Emeko Koro twice. But then coming back, I came back a lot better. Thanks to them. Namaste. And you know, when I was facing a lot of challenges too, the people like and Chigoze was there, the manager too was also, you know, putting me through, Dr. Onyenekwe, and Tinkechi, a whole lot of them were like encouraging me to, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it, though giving me a lot of challenging tasks anyway. Now moving on, after my NYSC, I left for a while, and luckily for me, I got a job in the school. I came back, I was posted to microbiology, and I see myself still coming back to the station to read news over and over. So I thought to myself, why not redeploy? Why not walk the way back into the studio, since this is what you want to do? And I redeployed to the FM. Well, I came back, I met the old faces too. I was excited, probably in a bigger realm. But then the training did not stop. The dragging did not stop. I had to start learning how to report. I had to start learning how to write stories. I had to start learning how to anchor shows. I had to understudy Ekene Zumanya. The driving force was the passion. I had to keep learning and learning and learning. And trust me, today now, I can beat my chest and say, I am also a force to be reckoned with in the FM station. So thank you so much for everyone that helped me to go through this journey. It wasn't easy, but here I am. And also to our dear Vice Chancellor, Omeko Kuluwan. Thank you so much, sir, for giving me the opportunity to showcase my talents. Even though I am not a broadcaster by training, I read English language, but then this is me doing what I really have passion for. I really appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And to every one of us in the FM station, we are doing a good job. Let's continue. Happy 15th anniversary to us all. Thank you.
In my department. So I turned down that offer, continued working with UNIZIK FM. At some point, I won the award as the best newscaster at UNIZIK FM during the Day of Excellence. I went ahead to make a first class in mass communication, and it was really because I did well in the practical courses, thanks to UNIZIK FM. So I am very glad that even now, I read the news on Tuesday mornings on UNIZIK FM. So I cannot wait anytime I'm called upon to give back to UNIZIK FM. I'm totally for it. My name is Ifi Aron Okafo, a former senior special assistant to the governor of Anambra State and presently the CEO of Molive TV and a media trainer. UNIZIK FM is dear to my heart.
Remember, my name is Exceptional MC Fides Okwenyono Abatete. You can call me Wufu Daniel Nzube Fides. Good say there. Oh, guy. Biggest, happiest 15 years anniversary to 94.1 UNIZIK FM. Blazing the trail. Get the vendor message. That year too good. Now UNIZIK FM make me day where I day like a days. Now then give me the brain. Now then give me the mindset. Yes, respect to UNIZIK FM. That year was marvelous, you know. A lot of sacrifice. I was literally living na UNIZIK FM just to make sure everything goes down well, you know. As of 2012, 2013, I used to come to UNIZIK FM that time to open Ampu Station early in the morning, 5 a.m. because 5:30 kgm. It was fun back then. Special respect to the manager of all managers, Mrs. Ifiobi. In a more for my son. Now you the ginger also. I would say there. Him normally eat more mommy in a phone. He say hello, mommy. I say yes. Brother, dad, a boy on a phone, hello, mommy. I say watching kitty, dad, a boy on a phone, hello, mommy. I want good morning. Keki, my man, peace. Udoka housing estate. Twale to you, Echo the Love Doctor. Twale to you, Auntie Kechi. Twale to you, Auntie Chigozie. All man who park, you know what I'm saying? Respect to 94.1 UNIZIK FM. You always be my home away from home. I would say, yeah. Fides Okwanyo no Kunka. One day I got Zelo no sight you. Go say, I did 2 fingers on the air for her. I would say, yeah. Guy.
Then came another set of trailblazers who joined between 2014 to 2015 under Professor Stella Chinyere Okunna, who took over as director of the FM in 2014. The station again came to the limelight as engineer Ken Nwokedi won again in 2014 and 2015 for best coverage of the Neres Pharmaceuticals Anambra FA Cup, making it 3 consecutive winnings at a stretch. Equally, Hyginus Ezamadi emerged the NBMA Best Campus Radio Presenter in 2015. These trailblazers, including Lillian Abirika, now with Mainland 98.3 FM, Lagos, and Africa Tech Radio. Anthony Ibe with Lead Africa Tech. Onyebuchie Gwonwu-Buchiano, now in Nollywood. Augusta Nadi, Special Assistant to Governor Soludo on Investment and Head of Strategic Communications at the Anambra State Investment, Promotion and Protection Agency, ANSIPA. Kamsi and Hyginus Ezamadi, now in a big media outfit in London, are all making UNIZIK FM proud as they equally blaze the trail in their areas of work. They also have mind-blowing testimonies.
Hello, my name is Lillian Abirika. I was at UNIZIK FM between 2014 and 2019, and I have to say, it was a roller coaster of feelings and emotions because, well, when I joined, I entered mass communication department. I was in my year 1, and I noticed a place where people were coming out from. That was when the station was still in the mass communication building, and I was wondering what's happening there, right? I asked the security person on duty, and he said, that is where the radio station is. And I walked in. I was welcomed with open arms by Auntie Chigozie, Auntie Ogo, Chidebere Ndukwe. But then because of the number of people at the station, there were so many volunteers, some I never even met, right? It was difficult for me to find a place, find something to do. I started reporting news and understudying Gertrude for newscasting. At that time, I was doing everything. I would take gallons to buy fuel. I'll come back, turn the fuel into the generator, pull it, put it on, because sometimes the guys will not be around and the show must go on. I had to master the art of changing over without the lights going off. I just did all these things, right? Then one day, Echo came and said, Lillian, there's a vacancy in the morning spot. Tuesday, there's no one there. Would you like to do this with Chuka? I said, sure. And that is how I started doing programs. Aside from the fact that programs and newscasting I enjoyed, I loved the people. I loved my fellow volunteer workers. It was fun. Like, there's no time that you will go to the studio and you're sad and you won't leave there happy. We're always communing in the production studio. I joined UNIZIK FM with the hopes of being a newscaster, but I left UNIZIK FM a newscaster, presenter, a reporter, a DCA. I was also a voiceover artist. I started editing audio. I did a lot of things, and that's one of the things that makes me look back at UNIZIK FM with fondness. They fine-tuned me, shaped me into the person I am right now. After UNIZIK FM, I've worked at Ogena FM, Anambra State. I stayed there for 3 years. After that, I moved to mainland FM Lagos. And right now, I work with Africa Tech Radio, where I am the head of content and programs. I cannot forget also the time that UNIZIK FM came through for me. I'm talking about how Auntie Chigozie, Uncle Sam, may so rest in peace, and Mrs. Ifeobi, and Professor Chinyere Okuna, when they came through for me when I had a personal issue. They solved it like it was their own. I can never forget that gesture. So I'll just say thank you. Thank you so much. I am eternally grateful. And I thank God every day that I walked into UNIZIK FM.
I'm Anthony Ibe. Was a volunteer with UNIZIK 94.1 FM. Got admission into UNIZIK, Nnamdi Azikiwe University. I finally signed up for UNIZIK FM as a volunteer. So when I joined UNIZIK FM, I'm not sure, from news writing, news gathering, researching, I didn't have zero skills, nothing at all. I came in blank and empty. Okay, maybe a good voice, maybe, but I just came in blank and empty. The skills for the job, I really didn't have any one of them at all. And the care and support that, UNIZIK FM and the persons I met at UNIZIK FM used to nurture me into, picking up those skills, those very, very important and relevant basic skills of news gathering, news writing, newscasting. All of those skills were very useful because every other thing else I did after then, I already had the most basic skills that I needed. And I really appreciate the fact that I was able to go through that learning process and the persons who helped me go through that learning process. These people have, after UNIZIK FM, also helped to shape my career and my life as a media person. If I start talking about it, we're not going to end from here today. So I really appreciate the work and the effort that has been put into place while I was there. And I also know, I'm a testimony, and I'm testament to the number of people that have also passed through UNIZIK FM and have achieved a lot, a whole lot. But then something that, sticks through to everyone is the fact that it was a breeding ground, right? It was a training ground. And I hope that UNIZIK FM keeps being that beacon of light, keeps being that training ground, that breeding ground for communication experts, for media moguls, and the big wigs and big heads that will come out of, UNIZIK FM. And this is wishing everyone a happy anniversary. Thank you. I'm Anthony Ibe.
Hello, my name is Augusta Neka Nadi, a former volunteer of UNIZIK 94.1 FM. I started working there in 2015 from my year one and worked through to 2019 when I was leaving. I started as a volunteer news reporter at the news department and then worked my way up to the programs department, where I had understudied Vincent Ede, a little bit of Chiagozie Ude, and took over the program on Mass Assembly and Political Digest, 10 a.m. on Friday and 11 a.m. on Saturday. Now, my special appreciation is to the manager for believing in me. I think I was the first female that handled those two programs, very serious programs, and she gave me the opportunity to handle that with very little supervision. And if I did not have the opportunity, I would not have the confidence to do the work I'm currently doing. Because as a special assistant, my current role is special assistant to the governor on investment and head of strategic communications for the Anambra State Investment Promotion and Protection Agency. That little faith in me pushed me to go up and beyond to make sure that I exceeded all expectations. And from there, I met a couple of people that have been mentoring me through to where I am right now. The people I met during that program helped me in a lot of ways to get to my current positions. I'm very grateful to the station, lots of potential, lots of growth opportunity. I'm very grateful to the station manager. I'm grateful to Auntie Chigozie. I'm grateful to Auntie Amaka. I'm grateful to Seke, Zungozi. I'm very grateful to everybody that helped me throughout my stay there, learning how to write news, working with Vanessa, with Oge, with, like I said, Lillian Brown Sugar, with Echo, with Virus, and a lot of people. It's really boosted my self-confidence and helping me do the job I am currently doing now. So on the 15th anniversary of the station, I'd like to say thank you so much for the faith. Up tops UNIZIK FM. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be associated with such a great station, and I believe a lot more can be done there, and I'm always willing to help. Thank you so much, Augusta and Neka. Thank you.
Hello, I am Mrs. Amaka Madu, a staff of UNIZIK FM. I joined this noble station 10 years ago as a volunteer staff, then trying to work as a newscaster, Igbo newscaster and Igbo presenter. There were few of us as volunteer staff then, though a majority of the staff comprises of we that are volunteer staff with few staff. We are really trying to meet up the demands of being a campus and a community radio. Also then, I was striving to be converted to a full staff, being a graduate with little experience. It wasn't that easy. Passed through so many of the VCs, until in 2019 when Professor Ismoni came on board as the Vice Chancellor. He met me with the management of UNIZIK FM and said, no, this lady should be converted to a full staff. And to God be the glory, in March 2019, I received my appointment letter as a technologist in UNIZIK FM, where I am truly blazing the trail today. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning. I am Franklin Obiko, a media and public relations practitioner, and I'm a proud product of UNIZIK 94.1 FM. I joined the FM in 2012, a year after I gained admission in the university to read mass communication. I was under the reportorial desk. I was a campus reporter. There was no event in the university I was not part of. I was almost everywhere, both departmental, faculty, administrative events. I was always there to cover, and I did this with all sense of diligence and quest to grow. The station manager, Mrs. Ifeobi, was more like a mother to us. She was always there to not just to grow in our chosen career. I had the likes of Mr. Ucho Osonpo and Dr. Mrs. Ogo, my editors then, so they really helped me improve in my writings. Currently I work in the university. I work under the Information and Public Relations unit, and because of the knowledge and experience I garnered over the years working as a student reporter in UNIZIK FM, I've been able to progress speedily in my place of work. UNIZIK FM has produced a huge number of great guys out there in the media practice, in the film industry. Some are lecturers now, some are abroad doing wonders, and it's because of the kind of training we underwent while working there as student volunteers. On this auspicious occasion of their 15 years anniversary, I wish them luck. I wish them the best. They've come this far, and they've been able to mold great men and women in the media practice. And this is just a giant step. This is just a step to greater things to come. I must congratulate the station manager, Mrs. Ifeobi, the director, Professor Ifeoma Dunu, and our amiable and indefatigable Vice Chancellor, who has been very supportive to the development of UNIZIK 94.1 FM. Kudos to every one of us that has been part of this success story. Thank you very much. I remain my humble self, Franklin Ombiko.
There was a remarkable change in the working condition of the student volunteers when in 2017, the then director and first female professor of mass communication in sub-Saharan Africa, Professor Chinyere Stella Okunna, endowed a standalone bungalow comprising of a radio and production studio, office blocks, and mini conference hall to enhance the station's profile. The testimony of present volunteer students who now work under improved conditions and guidance of the incumbent director, Professor Ifeoma Duno, a two-time director of the FM, with the enablement of the indefatigable Vice-Chancellor, Professor Charles Isimone, FAS, whom we are celebrating today, is loading. And that's a big story for another day. Indeed, the cornerstone of the legacy of UNIZIK FM is human capital development, that is, training of over 200 student volunteers into full-fledged professional broadcasters. We are confident of the broad knowledge and contemporary broadcasting skills our students have acquired over the years. Commendations and congratulations are in order for UNIZIK FM as we clock 15. Let's celebrate!